It's time now for Ask an Expert. Every weekday at this time, we're giving you direct access to top experts in various fields. Today, Capitol Hill witnesses another round of discussions on artificial intelligence as a bipartisan group of House members convenes for a hearing specifically focused on AI and the music industry.
This follows yesterday's hearing where Sam Altman, CEO of ChatGPT, testified before the House, providing insights on the potential of AI regulations. To answer any questions you have regarding AI, we're joined live on the KCBS Ring Central News line by Ahmed Bonifa, tech expert and San Jose State University professor. If you have a question you'd like answered, please email us at askus@kcbsradio.com. Professor, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So one of the things that seemed to be kind of obvious at the hearings yesterday is that lawmakers don't want to keep as much of a hands-off approach as they did with social media when it became the big deal.
Absolutely, that was the theme from the beginning, and one thing you will notice there, Eric, about it is the approach to the company was completely different than what we have seen with the social media, where the social media used to be a villains. Now they're asking Sam Altman about, tell us, how can we regulate, how can we help you? So it was more friendly atmosphere in that hearing.
What struck you the most about what Sam Altman had to say yesterday?
His clear message about saying if we don't do anything now and it goes out of control, it's going to be dangerous. And that is really a message that's echoing the concerns of so many people. And I remember that letter that sent about 27,000 scientists and professors and famous people in the industry. And I signed that paper asking for some kind of action. That letter asked for three things, which is 6 months pause. Number two is to have some kind of a third-party auditing for the AI. And the third one is to have the government involved. Yesterday, we heard about two of them because the 6-month pause is not going to happen.
What occurs to me now is that we don't hear the unbridled optimism that we did at the start of our access to the internet and to social media, where all you really heard about was the good things and the access we would all have. Now with AI, you are hearing people and people involved in the industry saying, wait a minute, some of these things might actually be dangerous.
It's out of experience because misinformation, we have seen it in social media. Now, if you want to add AI to the equation, you're going to see that the Congress yesterday was talking about misinformation. And the whole thing started with that deep fake speech by the senator saying that I didn't say that one. It's just built by the AI. Number two is you have to keep in mind that there is a lot of concern about copyright. There was a famous track that's created by AI with the voice of Drake and Weeknd. The name of the track is "Heart on My Sleeve," and that one pulled out of the streaming services because they realized this is not real. So everybody understand now that's going to impact multiple things in our life.
That was pretty powerful, that deep voice fake. How were the data privacy and security concerns addressed in those hearings?
Privacy is always a problem. Privacy is one of the things that has to be dealt with when you're talking about online. Now, in the field, we look at three pillars for any kind of a solid framework so we can have some guide rails and control on technologies. Number one is, we call them the SSP, which is safety, security, and privacy. Guarantee those three, and it's going to be very easy for you to have some kind of control on the flow. Privacy is always a big thing. I mean, we don't have a privacy law, federal privacy law in the United States. There is one in Europe, GDPR, and this is mentioned during the hearings.
So we learned of the possible influence on the 2016 election from Facebook, Twitter, other social media. What are your biggest fears regarding AI and the 2024 election?
Fake videos, fake news that articles can be created. I did a small experiment, which is I created an article using ChatGPT, asking ChatGPT, can you create a small news article following the AP, the Associated Press style, and suggest a picture about a big accident on 680 on Friday, which is 5th of May. And it created that, and I showed it to a reporter, a local reporter here in the area, and I asked him, Do you know about this? He said, no, we should see what's going on here. You didn't even realize that this is a fake news. Now just apply this to all the website that will just spread that news or some fake video saying, I support this against this. What will be the implications after that?
That is a little bit scary. I want to go a little deeper into what you said about Europe having a privacy law. What is that, and is it something that we could copy?
The privacy law is built back to how the AI actually can be created. I did a small experiment, which is I created an article using ChatGPT, asking ChatGPT, can you create a small news article following the AP, the Associated Press style, and suggest a picture about a big accident on 680 on Friday, which is 5th of May. And it created that, and I showed it to a reporter, a local reporter here in the Bay Area, and I asked him, do you know about this? He said, no, we should see what's going on here. You didn't even realize that this is a fake news. Now just apply this to all the website that will just spread that news or some fake video saying, I support this against this. What will be the implications after that?
That is a little bit scary. I want to go a little deeper into what you said about Europe having a privacy law. What is that, and is it something that we could copy?
The privacy law is built back to how the AI actually functions. The fuel and the what call it the gas for the AI is the data. Now the ChatGPT 3 was trained on about 175 billion pieces of data. They call them tokens. And the ChatGPT 4 was trained on 1 trillion pieces of data. Now this kind of data is coming from everywhere. Now, I didn't give my permission to any of the AI to go and collect this data and then generate something based on that. And this was the basis for countries like Italy to stop ChatGPT for a few weeks until they clarify what kind of data they are using to process the request. Privacy means you cannot use my data unless I give it permission.
Are you surprised at all of how welcoming Altman was to the idea of guardrails being set by somebody outside the industry?
He's a very smart guy. I'll give him that, and everybody understands this. Everybody dealt with him knows this. He is really doing a preemptive strike here. He saw what happened with the social media. Section 230 is not covering his company or the actions of the AI. So he's saying that, okay, I'm here. I came in peace. I would like you guys and ladies to help me so we can have this on. He don't want to get and fight with the government about regulation. And there is one thing that, if you notice in the hearing, one of the senators, he said, we're not going to, have any kind of regulation. We're going to let people sue you. And that was really a strange, way of dealing with technology. But he's trying to avoid any kind of clash with the government.
It's so interesting because the regulations really lag the technology. I mean, this has just happened always, it seems like. You bring up some really scary things and some things that we need to be aware of with AI, but is there anything that you're excited about? I mean, this is a new technology. It could be a game changer. Are there good ways it can be used?
Oh, definitely. I mean, the good thing is actually overweighing the bad, side of AI. Increase of efficiency, speed, optimizations. So many things can be done now. If you look at it, I use it on a daily basis, basically, in all my work and all my studies. It actually saved me time and the same and money, because you need people also to do some kind of research. And the companies that are using it now said to do a lot of tasks that used to be done by 2 or 3 people. And the loss of job is the dark side of that. But AI is to stay. I mean, it's not, nobody can put it back, and say that we have to reset the clock. There's no way for that. There's so many things can be done. What I'm excited about it is when we take this AI and put it inside a robot, now we're going to see the real impact of AI.
But as a university professor, are you confident that when students start turning in papers and theses that you'll be able to spot the difference?
The same company, OpenAI, gave us a tool, and this tool is, you can run the papers and the submission of the student through that, through that tool, and it will give you some kind of indication. This is probably generated by AI. This is probably generated by humans. So we will have that sense about that.
Have you busted anybody yet?
No, my students at SJSU, they're doing their own work.
Yay, go Spartans. I want to ask you a follow-up. When AI gets in the robots, what can happen?
Now, you're talking about the robot doing tasks like manufacturing, customer service, a lot of the mechanical routine things that we have seen done now by humans can be done by the robot. I mean, a prime example of this, and I'm bringing the movies all the time in my lectures, look at the movie I, Robot, the 2003 movie by Will Smith. That's exactly the future we're looking at, which is the robot is really doing most of the jobs that humans are doing now.
Yeah, but there was a dark point to that movie.
Well, which is true. The sympathy and empathy of the robot does not exist. The movie started with saving the Will Smith instead of the little girl, because the probability 30% to 47%. That is one of the dark sides of using the AI. Using AI in HR is going to be a problem, because there's no way for you to convince people about your situation if you're dealing with the robots.
My fear from my generation is growing up watching movies like Colossus, the Foreman Project, where the government begins handing over tasks to AI, and then things go weird. In that case, they handed over the nuclear codes to this big AI computer, and then realized the threat once it was too late. What are the guardrails for that?
There are many things. Number one is to limit the autonomy of the AI. That will be one thing. Number two is the kill switch concept. We talk about it all the time, where there should be a backdoor where human can just shut down the system if something happens. Now, just to counter that from the point of looking at the AI in general, just to understand where we are standing in the AI, map here or landscape. The AI has three categories, which is the first one is the narrow, and then the general, and the super. The narrow is when the human is smarter than the AI. We passed that period. The general, which is what we are in now, which is the human and the AI have, closely similar levels of intelligence. The super is when the AI is smarter than the human. That's the danger. This is what we are worried about.
Is that not going to happen? I mean, and if so, if it would happen, when? How far away are we?
The general AI, which is we are in now, supposed to happen in 2040. That's the estimate by the scientists about it. So we are early by 20 years. And this is why this is alarming to everybody. So how far is the super AI? How far we can get to that level? By that time, when we get to the super AI, hopefully we're going to have a lot of understanding how we control the AI. One of the things that mentioned in the hearing, and it's a little bit on the technical side, we don't want the AI to create AI. We don't want the AI to create their own AI, so we have no control on it. That's going to be the dangerous stage.
And that was the dark point of iRobot that you mentioned. The AI created its own AI.
Exactly.
Well, this is such a complicated subject that for the average American, I think we were talking, or especially experts like you were talking, above most people's heads. So if there was one or two just general points the average American can latch on to about AI, what would that be?
It's a good thing. It's a very good thing. We need only ethics. We need transparency when we create the algorithm or create the programs. So, for example, if somebody asks the AI to show me how to do this and this is illegal, it's going to